Hello, everyone. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson, and I sure appreciate you joining me. We've got some growing pains as warmer air is pushing its way in, beginning late tonight and into Saturday. Areas of freezing rain. Some areas in the region could see heavy ice, an ice storm warning in Iowa. And for our area, more ice is expected into Sunday as the storm I've been watching begins in parts of Montana and the western Dakotas. Your forecast begins right now. But first, a quick message. My friends from Robert Gibbons Sons want you to know that you can get heating system rebates of up to $2,000 off. Get smart technology, better efficiency, a 10-year warranty, and installation by the best in the business. Robert Gibbons Sons is a premier Bryant dealer, whatever it takes. Give them a call today. Let them know Hutch sent you. And now let's take a look at what we have going on. All right. Here are the headlines, but I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this. We do have a freezing drizzle potential here as we go into Saturday in the Southern Valley into Lakes Country. I'll go over that in a minute. An ice storm warning for a Colorado low, making its way into the Central Plains. This cold Arctic air has really caused the ground to freeze, and things are mighty tricky with regards to the potential for travel from Omaha through western parts of Iowa and into central Iowa. A flat-out ice storm warning is underway as we have the potential in those areas of over a quarter of an inch of accumulating ice. For us, a little more on the drizzle side. Then on Sunday, the Alberta Clipper and really a Wyoming low will be tracking through the region. It will start as ice in Montana, where there's a winter storm watch. Snow accumulations will develop there, and we'll have a chance at some ice out to the west as well as things begin on Sunday. For us, what happens Monday? I'll show you. Let's take a look at what's going on with regards to that forecast right now. And for that, we'll take a look at this particular model zoomed in on our area, and we'll get to the very latest for you. Now, as we go into the next 24 hours, there's a lot of weather that's going to be happening here. Let's go ahead and take a look at the future radar. Again, I'm going to have to do this a different way. Let's go over here. Here it is. Let's see if I'll have to zoom in on the map and see if I can get this to work for us here. As I have been perusing data throughout the day, and now my computer isn't very happy with me. So when that happens, I have to sometimes do a little change up. Here we go. I'll be able to change this now. So bear with me while I try my best to lock into, I think I may have to, here, let's do this. Yep, let's go ahead and, nope, I guess I am logged in. We're good there. Okay, let's go over to wind gusts and see here. I apologize for this. Give me one moment while I try to load this up. If not, I'll load it up another way. Okay, so this is definitely not cooperating here. So let me try a different model. Let's go with this model. There we go. Okay, now I'll be able to switch things around. My apologies. Thanks for your patience with Hutch here as we wind this through. I think I'll go ahead and leave this view for now to show you the impacts of this Colorado low moving its way out of Colorado right now. Here's the low. Scooping up moisture. We'll have thunderstorms in parts of Missouri and all the way down to the south, but it's going to loft that moisture over the top of our very cold and frozen surfaces here. Do you see this bright pink hot spot in Iowa? That's accumulating ice as we go into the overnight hours tonight and into tomorrow. A good old-fashioned ice storm in central parts of Iowa, including that Des Moines area and points east. Now, off towards Omaha and up towards Sioux Falls, Sioux City, Iowa, we'll have some freezing rain there. Snow in southern Minnesota could accumulate with this system. Again, the winds from the south, it'll be a heavy, wet type of a snow. For us, we're going to see a chance of some of this working its way into our southern and eastern counties. That is why the National Weather Service has issued that winter weather advisory for some areas of freezing drizzle in our neck of the woods. The ground frozen solid. Precipitation coming from the clouds. If any of it thinks of being liquid, it's going to freeze on impact. So watch for icy roads is really the key as this system moves off into the Great Lakes. Now, here comes the next system as we work our way through. Here is the event that begins on Sunday morning. Ice accumulating in Montana and the western part of the Dakotas. It won't be as heavy as what we saw through the Iowa area, but impactful to travelers on the Highway 2 corridor in particular. And then this storm system will work its way out into the plains and wrap around as we go into Sunday night and Monday morning with increasing wind and increasing chances of snow. But as you see here, models are starting to come into a little bit of agreement. This is the American model as far as the track that this storm is going to take. Let me zoom in now to our particular area here so we can really focus in on what's going on and see if the computer now wants to cooperate. Okay, now what we're going to do is go to a more high resolution model, and we're going to take a look at the hour by hour forecast here that gets us out and into the weekend. So here's a chance of our freezing drizzle and mist, mainly in our eastern counties in west central Minnesota and southeast North Dakota. That is where the winter weather advisory is. The timing of that is late tonight and into the morning tomorrow. So be aware, roads could be slippery for sure on your Saturday morning. Then we warm things up. Temperatures will be on their way up, and the wind won't be terribly strong here, but it will be increasing out to the west. Speaking of the west, on Sunday, first thing, and this is overnight now, there's rain falling in places like Plentywood, Wolf Point, Montana, all the way out towards Glendive, Montana. That rain shower activity on frozen road surfaces, deck surfaces, and the like, bridges, overpasses, could become icy very, very quickly. So Saturday morning, we could have areas of freezing rain in North Dakota. The I-94 corridor is also included in that. Hutch's eyes have been watching this system for a few days. It begins with mixed precipitation as we go into Sunday morning. Then, heading into the remainder of the day, it does look like the system will slowly work its way off to the east. Now, for that, I will have to go to a model that goes out just a piece farther than that, and let's go to this one here. So this is a fun model. It's a North American model. Here's our mixed precipitation working its way through tomorrow morning. Here comes the big event. Notice how quickly things transition to snow by midday. This is Sunday at noon. So we'll have bands of snow and heavy snow with increasing wind across northeast Montana. Now, as this low treks its way across, there'll be a southern branch of it as well that will be working its way off to the east. However, because the main low will be up along the international border here, it's more likely that impactful snow amounts will be along the international border. How much will that be? Still a few days out, but over 3 inches of snow for a few areas looks to be likely. The wind really picks up by the time we get into that Monday morning time frame for us. So here is a quick peek then at the European model that does go out that far. Let's go ahead and take that out for you, and then we'll go ahead and summarize your forecast. Mixed precipitation becoming snow midday Sunday. Here, this low on this is southerly track. So the European model has a little bit more of a southerly track, bands of snow with increasing wind as we go into your Monday morning. Monday, gusty wind, a shot of snow that will be light to moderate at times. Good thing it's happening overnight so it doesn't impact as many travelers, but by morning, many of us will feel the impacts, and here comes another cold surge of air. So now, let me see if I have any questions, but on the bottom line here, let's go ahead and see if I can go over the details in the forecast. Tracy, good to have you on board. Not looking to forward to snow either, Bonnie. Thank you for joining me. Alan, good to have you. Hoping to go to St. Augusta for the day tomorrow. Will you run into icy roads? Well, let me go ahead and get the latest on that for you here as we take a look, Alan. Number one, as we go into Minnesota, yes, southern Minnesota especially will have a chance for some icing, some freezing drizzle, and even some snow as we go through. So as you're looking at the basics here, we're talking about the conditions deteriorating as we go through the overnight tonight and into your day tomorrow. So as I take this through, let me go ahead and scale back just a couple of frames on this so you can see here. I've got to load up my Humpty Dumpty. Okay, there we go. All right, so this is a look at the ice storm. It's behind my chair here. But as you take a look at the St. Cloud area, this is tonight. This is as we go into about, you subtract 6 hours. This is 2 to 3 a.m. So overnight, light snow and mixed precipitation will be falling in and around the area. As we go towards daybreak, though, this is about, this is noon. It continues, and it will be heavy across Iowa and southern Minnesota. I do think there's going to be low clouds. There's going to be mist. There may be even some fog or freezing fog here in the morning half of the day on Saturday. And remember, temperatures are below freezing. That will impact your trip out there as you're heading through that St. Augusta, St. Cloud area out in the general vicinity of smack dab in the middle of Minnesota. Hope that answers your question, and I sure appreciate it coming from you. Kathy, good to see you this afternoon. The new to the Midwest, and you are the very best. Amanda, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for watching. Tell your friends and let them know, because Hutch is here, and word of mouth is the most goodest way to pass along the good word. Deb, thanks for watching from the FM area. It's good to have you back on again. Okay, so now this is a look at the system as it works its way through. Let's take a look at the highlights that Hutch has in store for us. Again, we'll reiterate just a little bit about regards to the watches and warnings. There is a winter storm watch for Montana. Heavy snow developing as we go through Sunday. And then into Monday, that snow will trek along the northern tier of counties. We may have products or headlines from the National Weather Service later on that. But for now, that Colorado low moving through the central plains will bring a chance for some freezing drizzle here. And in southern Minnesota, snow and freezing rain will be out there as well. The goodest. All right. Thanks, Amanda. I appreciate it. I was a whole lot gooder at math and science than I was at English and grammar. And that's something I like to share with those of you that know me. Okay, now let's take a look at what we have going on with regards to our current conditions in your forecast summarized. So I'm pulling up the graphics here as we're going along because it's been a busy, busy day. Let's talk about the headlines, and this is what you need to know. As we go through, if we're just going to summarize, Saturday, much warmer, a chance of some freezing drizzle in the morning part of the day, icy roads and spots. Then on Sunday morning, out west, freezing rain and snow develops in Montana and near the western reaches of North Dakota into the oil patch, even near that Dickinson to Bismarck trek along Interstate 94 could get some ice, as I showed you. Now, Sunday into Monday, as we go through the day, the system is going to be skirting along the international border. That will increase our chances of snow here. It does not start with a lot of wind. The wind picks up as we go into the day on Monday. So keep that in mind. That's why the blizzard risk with this particular system fairly low, and it does look like timing the wind and the snow, they're not coming together. That's good, but it will be very slippery in places. Couple of other things to keep in mind as we go through. How about we talk about your morning tomorrow? Tomorrow morning, the southeast wind with the low clouds and the freezing fog and the freezing drizzle and mist means 17 degrees. Are you kidding me? Your car's windshield could be pretty frozen in places like Fergus Falls, Wahpeton, Breckenridge, down into parts of Wilkin County and southeast parts of Minnesota. Up north, we won't be as warm either. In fact, we'll have some teens and single digits up in northern parts of North Dakota. How about Bottineau, Rugby, all the way out towards Towner County, rather, for you in Rock Lake? It's going to be cold, but it does look a little bit quieter as far as precipitation chances go there. So the moisture from the Colorado low will be thrown up. And we don't like to throw up, but it'll be thrown up here into the northern plains and give us just a little bit of mizzle and drist, or drist and mizzle, or something like that. Then as we head through the west, we'll have the southwest winds beginning to develop. Now, as we go into your Saturday afternoon, want you traveling with care. Temperatures will be rising throughout the day into the mid-20s, and they will keep rising at night. Steady to slowly rising temperatures. But look at these digits, folks. These are still below freezing. So if you're in Bemidji, 23 for your afternoon temperature and rising. 23 for Warroad, 25 in International Falls. Cold and frozen surfaces. Then down south, the exiting storm system that will be moving out of places like southern Minnesota and Iowa late into your Saturday night. The next system will begin entering late Saturday night out to the west. Hutch, you're saying, what does that look like? Well, I've got some ice accumulation areas to worry about Saturday night and into Sunday morning. Here you go. Yeah, I know. Snow, not rain, is better this time of the year, Avis, for sure. Ronald and Myrna, thank you so much. How much snow for the north? I'm getting to that. It doesn't look huge, but let's go ahead. And it'll get to you later in the event. Let's talk about it. For Saturday night late into Sunday morning, significant ice potential in northeast Montana before it transitions to snow. If you are in Wolf Point, Montana, Hutch has been there, Poplar, Montana, all the way out towards Glasgow, some spots could see over 1/10 of an inch of ice. Now, factor in the fact that snow comes behind it and the wind, that'll make for travel troubles for my neighbors in the big sky country of Montana. See Hutch's little cloud I drew around there? We'll have spotty areas of freezing drizzle and, well, possibly very slippery roads taking place in the western third of North Dakota. Now, as this storm system moves off to the east, here comes your snow potential. Notice that we do have some freezing drizzle potential. This is the stuff that comes by Saturday morning. So Saturday morning here in the valley, Sunday out in eastern Montana. I hope that's clear. Now let's take a look at some icing potential here. And now let's take a look at the storm's progression. Here is the morning, freezing rain, snowflake, heavy snow, developing later in the midday hours out in Montana. Then this whole thing works its way across the region and heads into the Red River Valley. Now, as it works its way through, most models have a more northerly track, so you could get up at the northwest angle some mixed precipitation. That's just ridiculous for this time of the year, but it's possible. This is a look at Monday morning. So it'll be warm in central Minnesota through Monday morning before the tides turn and the northwest winds take hold. That means snow, increasing wind. Some of these areas here near Bottineau, Rugby, you know what? It's just been terrible along that Highway 5 corridor from the Pembina County area through Cavalier County. That whole area could get wind and snow again as we go through. Now, could this be a little more southern track? It could. Could it still shift? Yes. But how much snow is the potential the way it looks right now? What? Just because you asked, I've prepared this. Numbers are just too far out to be specific. I'm giving you a range, and I'm saying there's a pretty decent chance of the lower range here, with some seeing a chance at more. With that said, notice the northern tilt basically along Highway 2 and points north for the more significant snow impacts from the system, the way the track looks today. So that means a 1/2 inch to 3 inches. Notice it's plotting some 5s and 6s in here. We will have to wait and see how much of it's going to fall during the rain temperatures versus the snow temperatures, but this is what we're expecting. I think there's a very good chance at 1 inch to 2 inches of snow across our northern counties. This will come with increasing wind. Look at this, War Road, that says 3-4 inches of snow out there. So there certainly could be a few places with this 3+ inch category. Many of us down south will simply be too warm, but that does not mean we won't have impacts with slippery roads, just like we did with the previous system. So that's a quick look there. Now let's take a look at your 7-day planner. I'll answer a couple more questions and we'll call it good for this, well, beautiful Friday afternoon as those south winds are warming us. Temperatures in the morning will continue to warm. Will be steady eddy to slowly warming by daybreak tomorrow, 17. 25 as the temperatures keep rising. We'll call that a pinch warmer. Now remember, there'll be some of that freezing drizzle out there, and there's that winter weather advisory for our counties here in the south. Saturday, okay, we'll have ice out to the west, and then that changes to snow as we go into Sunday. I'm sorry, I said Saturday, I meant Sunday. Ice out west on Sunday. As we head toward the afternoon and evening hours, it starts moving into the eastern third of North Dakota. The main event for us and the timing for it will be Sunday late afternoon into Monday morning. The wind picks up Monday. That's when the main impacts of the wind from the northwest will be, and temperatures will begin their decline all the way down into the teens. Steady temperatures on Tuesday, if not falling in the afternoon, down to 4 below by the time we get to a Burr Day on Wednesday as we go through your midweek. Then it looks like another flaky system could be making its way through as we head through Thursday. At this point, it does not look like a direct strike for our area, but we'll keep our eyes on that. Checking out a couple more questions, but again, I want to let you know that anytime, no matter where you are, you can always get the very latest in your weather information on hutchesweather.com. So many of you have shared photos, and check this out. On hutchesweather.com, right at the top bar here, we have road conditions. So click on the road conditions, get the very latest for what's going on before you go in the morning to find out how much of an impact we've had with the ice out here across Minnesota. Look at what's making its way in on the interactive radar out here on the west coast, and that is the system that will begin working into the Rockies and work its way into our neck of the woods as we head from Sunday into Monday. Again, thanks so very much for your support. Pass a good word that Hutch is here watching the skies for you. I'll have updates this weekend as we go through, and in particular on Sunday as things get rocking and rolling. For now, I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. Have yourself a very swell Friday, and well, thank you very much for trusting me with your weather information. I'll be back with more updates throughout the day and the week.